It's day 2, draw number 5 of the 2019 Ontario Mixed Doubles Curling Championships, brought to you by Curlon, the Ontario Curling Association, and Title Sports Live. Thanks for joining us on this early Saturday morning. It's breakfast in Brampton. My name is Jason Chang, and with me is two-time Ontario Scotties Tournament of Hearts champion, Mary Chilvers. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, Jason.
Well, nice day today, and we've got the curlers all out on an early Saturday morning.
We do, actually. We've got all the B-side competitors on the ice today, Jason.
Yeah, the B-side quarterfinals right now.
Yeah.
And of course, you want to win this B-side game because if you lose here, you drop down to the C-side, and then it's sudden death from there on in.
Yeah, it is. So on our sheet this morning, we have Team Hahn and Thorne, and they're going up against Team Hopsin and Bennett.
Yeah, it'll be our first time covering Team Hahn and Thorne. They played last night to a victory on their B-side game. Hopsin and Tippett, we saw them earlier in our opening draw of the coverage of the 2019 mixed doubles. They had a victory in that first A quarterfinal game. They dropped their A semifinal game, so that brings us to their B-side game. We see the teams practicing right now. Each of the teams have a 4-minute practice before the start of the game, and then they'll throw a draw to the button to determine who has the choice of last rock in the very first. And I believe this is the draw to the button right now, Mary.
And they have to beat out back 4 foot. Their opposition drew just biting back 4.
Yeah, so this is Hahn and Thorne throwing the yellow stones, which means Hopsin and Tippett are throwing the red stones for this game.
Running heavy, line
this one's
good
looking
now,
pretty
right to
good.
T-line. Right to the T-line. Just leave it. You're going.
I don't know why she wasn't sweeping that, Jason.
Yeah, it came down very quickly at the end.
That really went sideways at the end.
Certainly could have swept it much closer. It was a good-looking rock.
Yeah, they didn't seem too concerned about it. To me, that looked a little close to their opposition's draw to the button. But, however, we've got 3 more games out here today, Jason. We've got the kids up against Fairfield and Gebhar. We have Konings-Wazilki up against Macaulay and Way. And we have April and Bennett up against Greenman and Zuliani. And as I mentioned, these are all B-side games here this morning.
Yeah, which means they have lost a game already in this tournament. They're actually all 1-1. Whether they won their first or lost their second, or lost their second and then won their next game. So here we go. We're going to have a look at who does have the last rock. Maybe the Yellowstone was already closer and she wasn't too concerned. We'll see.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering.
And based on where that Yellowstone is going, into the rings and the red stone out in front of the rings, that means Hahn and Thorne, they do have last stone advantage. They did win the draw to the button. And Mary, as you know, in mixed doubles curling, we start with 2 stationary rocks, right?
That's right.
1 in the house, 1 center line guard. That's the standard setup.
Yeah, the team with the hammer gets the 1 in the house, the back of the 4 foot. Team without hammer gets that center line guard.
Yeah, and so there are only 6 rocks per end for each team. One of them starts in play, and then the teams will deliver 5 stones. That's why there are only 6 stones you see in those graphics that we're showing. And to get us going, it's Kevin Hopsin.
Top 4. Okay. We threw this way the whole time in practice.
Yeah, and typically the first shot of the game is a draw into the top of the rings, ideally into the top of the 4 foot or at the top of the button. And Kevin just drops it a little bit short, but it is right behind the guard.
A little strong right now.
And here's our first look at Jessica Thorne. The Thorne and Hahn team, they played last night at 9 p.m. Had a very high-scoring game.
Yes, they did.
I think it was 11-9.
through.
But they came away with the victory, which is the most important thing. Trying to put it in the top of the rings. This one slips to the back of the 12-foot.
Again, a very, very important in this game, just like the traditional game, to get those rocks in front of the tee line and not behind the tee line. Jason?
Yeah, especially for those first couple of stones. Quite critical. Erica from the Ottawa club. So in mixed doubles, only 2 players. If you're watching this for the very first time, this is our first time ever covering the Ontario Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. Only 2 players out there, 1 female, 1 male player. One of the players will throw the first and the last stone of the end. The other player throws the middle 3 stones. And in the case of this Hopsin Tippett team, the male player, Kevin, throws the first and the last, usually. And Erica throws the middle 3.
Are they shot?
But the teams can decide from end to end if they want to change that up. Normally the teams will stick to that same lineup, though.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody change it up mid-game.
No, not yet.
15.
I think when a new partnership
All
forms,
sweeping,
you might see them switching around a little bit just to figure out what each of the players likes better. But
to me out of
after
your
you've
hand.
played for a while, you typically stay with that same lineup.
It's either that or we can bail. I like this just as well.
So on this team, Ryan, the male player, is going to throw the 3 middle stones.
No.
And the Thorn and Hahn team,
No, miles of
they're quite young, right? They're still under 21s.
Yes, they are. They're actually under 21s, and they're very excited and proud to have made this adult provincial championship.
Yeah, we were talking with them yesterday, and I think they were saying, they were using the provincial qualifying tournament as more of a practice or preparation for the under 21s, but they did so well and made it all the way to the provincial final here in Brampton. So that's quite the accomplishment already.
You have to be to the nose of it. Yeah, you have to.
Nose
Inside would be great.
Okay.
And while it's a early morning, Mary, already some fans streaming in.
There is family members, I'm assuming, coming to watch their loved ones try to win this provincial championship.
Yeah, a bit more, like 4 seconds. Well, if they do that, I think we just try to yeah, it's more. Hers stayed out there pretty.
Yeah, I think Erica can play a draw here, or maybe a little heavy draw, and just come in off of this yellow stone that will come into your view, that's on the side of the button, and roll it onto the middle part of the button, closer to the center line. Just doesn't curl up for them. Maybe had a little bit more weight than she intended.
Is there anything wrong with that? Like just here?
Yeah.
Yellow is a shot stone right now, I believe, on the side of the button.
True. Okay.
There is room to,
Yeah, back 8.
I think, draw
Good weight.
in, get to the inside. Now, Mary, we've covered this sheet all yesterday.
If he
We've
goes
seen
on
it
top
run.
of the red one,
What are your impressions of this sheet of ice?
Well, I think it starts off, fairly
Yeah, and we'll just go
fast. I
top
think
4.
in their practices they find that it's quite fast. The weight does seem to slow down halfway through the game, where the players are saying it actually feels more like they're throwing like a hack weight to make a draw. And of course, we have seen the one side of the sheet that's closest to 5. That later in the end, right where Ryan's throwing this rock right now, really starts to cut later on in the game. It's curling big here right now. And a few more ends from now, that spot will be so swingy, and it will surprise the players a little bit.
Yeah, and this might give Hopsin and Tippett a little bit of advantage just because they have played this sheet before. This is their second time on this sheet.
or Erica. It'll curl there, even if you just throw
I think
Just throw
they'll be
like,
quite
yeah, like
aware
draw
of
away,
that
you might lick off
situation,
it, come
Hahn
in
and
too.
Thorn. They'll need to pick that up as quickly as possible.
That one would fold more, but it did.
And as you said,
I
Mary,
think
that
it's gonna
rock
curl
over
here,
curled.
so the
Not
hair,
sure
yeah.
if Hahn actually got quite out to the broom on that one.
Yeah.
But it was curling quite aggressively. So we do see a bit more curl there. It has actually pushed the red stone into a pretty good spot for Team Hopsin and Tippett. I think they can maybe play a tap or just draw in there right now. And that 4-foot or the button area
line
will be
only. Play
quite
the
cut
wick.
off to score for the yellow team. Erica calling Kevin to sweep hard. This one is a bit tight to the guard. She is by. I think she could use a little bit of a chip off of her own one. She's going to get that, roll it right into the middle, touch the yellow one. I think they're sitting one,
Actually, this might
maybe
be
two right
She's
now.
up here.
Hard to tell.
You could
Definitely
probably
one
get that,
is
that,
red.
that.
Pretty close for
nine.
second shot, but I think it might just be yellow. What do you think, Mary?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
tough.
nice
It's
fight.
Well, Mary,
think if I
we're in the
just
second end
talk
now, and
back-
indeed that red stone that was so tough to remove
beside
stayed
each
there to
other?
the end of the end. So
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Hopsin and Tippett take a 1-0 lead after the first
I feel
end.
like the intern just because there's more room.
Hahn and
Oh, I thought like the one.
Thorn will have the hammer once again here in
like
the
a
second
couple
end of
inches
play.
higher type- Okay. Good weight.
And a couple of red stones already clustered at the back of the button here, so Ryan's going to have to throw a nice rock here, maybe tap those red stones back.
Yeah, I think they're in a good tappable position here. Make some room for himself.
Room.
They have the hammer here in the second end.
Yep.
This is where it starts to curl here a bit.
Yeah, once again, that's the curly side, closer to sheet 5.
Hard. Oh, Jesus.
Just Rex on the guard there. He had actually quite nice weight on that one.
Yeah, it rolls it into the top of the 8-foot, but
or just
doesn't really move the guard out of the way either. So this is a
No.
good position once again for
I'm so straight. So I thought
Hopsin and Tippett.
Yeah. Less ice. Yeah. Then yeah. Same weight. I agree. Did you get a time on that? Okay. Yeah.
So this is Erica Hopsin.
Yeah.
Erica's from Ottawa,
Yeah, I agree.
originally from Timmins, Ontario.
Looks heavy.
Erica's quite a character.
Yeah,
She comes to visit us here a lot in the booth.
She's visiting us in the booth, and first time meeting Erica for me, and she's
think
quite
we start
funny
away.
and actually makes fun of herself a lot about her own curling.
She does. She's very humble.
I keep,
Very nice shot there, though, by Erica.
I keep telling her that she won the first game and she made a couple good shots.
Yeah.
And then she was saying there were a few that were regrettable.
Right. Don't we all have those, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, the button area right now is certainly controlled by the Hopsin Tippett team. They've got 3 red rocks clustered in there. The good news for Hahn and Thorn is that they are all sitting on the tee line or slightly behind the tee line, so they can come in, jiggle these up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they definitely have to move one of the red stones a little bit out of the way. The red stone that's in the back of the button is causing some problems, so
Yep.
here we go. Now we're seeing some weight being thrown.
No. Yes. Double the back. Yes. Whoa.
Nicely done. Moves that back red stone out of the way. That's very important because the rock that's right on the pin wasn't going anywhere unless that back red stone got moved away.
Sorry, I needed.
Now, Mary, you observed that in mixed doubles, teams don't hit or peel that much.
Yeah.
And, we were talking about this yesterday. And I think teams just need to figure out when they need to peel and
Yeah.
run it in and throw a hit. And we saw certainly the Hahn and Thorn team plays a lot more of the upweight when we were just peeking over in their evening game last night.
Yeah, I think it's similar to the 4-man team where you have to know when to bail sometimes.
I don't think that way.
This is the first team, though, Hahn and Thorn, where
Right
I've
on.
seen a little more hitting involved. The other games we've watched is draw after draw. This one might go right through that hole. It's a little heavy.
Sit.
So there's a bit of a break for Hahn and Thorn.
Yeah, it disturbed that rock that was sitting on the pin, and now
Because then we're.
Hahn and
that's
Thorn
shadow of that, right?
can have access.
I think we throw this turn. Try to. Well, what turn are you thinking? Yeah, I feel like we can't make the tap with this turn.
Well, they're having a quick discussion there of whether they needed to move the red stone or they could just play the freeze. I think they may have decided to just play the freeze.
Yeah, they can't see any of
90.
that
Well, the other one's at
red
895,
stone, I
so
think, or maybe just a sliver of it on the out
I don't
turn.
think I can do enough of that to move it.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the natural way to come at this if you want to sit
No.
behind the guard, right? You want to come in on the in-turn side if you want to sit buried.
Yeah, okay. We can keep that in one here.
So as I mentioned, Ryan here is he's actually still a U21 curler. Very excited to be in this championship. And he has he's played in a lot of U21 provincials, all of them since 2013. He was runner-up in 2016 at the U18 provincial
Line
championship.
No bounce on this line. We're a straight draw right now.
Yeah, this rock isn't curling either. Maybe, again, a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah, exact same spot where Erica was heavy on her draw.
Yeah, really not that much heavy. It was only back 4, but it was back 4 on its own.
Yeah, yeah, and that's, again, behind the tee line. That's just giving your opposition
don't give them
another chance here.
Right here.
Like, how hard did
this
you
side?
sweep it?
Yeah, I think
I just
so,
feel like we
they've
know
got,
it.
They've got nothing coming this way. It's always coming back into it.
I can't.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where were you here?
Yeah.
Just got out wider. And
Yeah, another great opportunity for the Hopsin Tippett team to
It
draw one in there and weld it onto their own red
and
stone.
it comes once it gets around the 4-foot line.
You know, with only 5 rocks thrown per end, Mary, the ends go by very quickly, and we are already into the final stones here for each of the teams.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
You know, one of the things I don't think that is really standardized or official is what we call the position of the players.
Yes, yeah.
I know when I have to fill out mixed doubles forms, it always says female player and male player.
Okay.
But
But doesn't mean that's, yeah, that doesn't
tell you which position they're actually playing, whether you're throwing the first and the last.
Well, Kevin here has indicated first and last thrower,
Okay.
so I suppose that's a good way of
Actually, it's okay.
noting it.
Hard.
Kevin lives in
Whoa, whoa,
Ottawa,
whoa, 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 whoa.
originally
I gotta
from
go.
Moncton, New
Take
Brunswick.
a look.
Had a lot of success when he was a junior.
Well, he'll want to win these championships because the Canadians are going to be in New Brunswick too, right, Mary?
That's right, actually. Wouldn't that be nice for him? In
Sorry,
Fredericton, yeah.
Nice draw right on the pin.
Sorry.
It's only for one anyway.
I don't know. Do you think you can ever, like, do that and spin that to, like, there?
Maybe no. The red one on the button's not going anywhere.
Like, it's
Number
for
2.
one. Like, I don't. If you
No,
come
you
no
get 2
here
catches.
and tap that to there, they're still gonna get 1 or 2. I
Oh.
think so too. I was
I
thinking
think
like a 9-5. I don't hate more
I think that-
because even if we just
I think it's
if
one.
we
that
kill
works.
one and this stays here, we might have a
I'm
chance.
worried.
So you're like there with
Yeah,
9-5.
'cause the one on the button.
Okay.
Yeah, wondering
It
if
does
we
curl
can
at the very
We'll do
end
like a-
here.
squeeze those red rocks out of there. That's what the Hahn and Thorn team are looking at.
3 inches.
The
4
angle
inches
isn't
off the rock.
staggered great for them
No.
I think
because you can't really get
on the bottom
inside
right.
the nose.
On the red.
Yeah,
I think they were wondering whether that red one will spill back
Yeah.
far
For
enough
one.
Yeah.
and the shooter can hang around close enough to the button
I got 15 on that.
to be shot stone. It looks quite difficult
Yeah.
over and over.
from our angle.
Whatever you see.
The red
4
stone, I
think
think,
4 to
will
6 inches
probably
in that
still be
range.
biting the button, the one that's on the pin. I don't know if it can get out of the button. I think the question is whether the shooter can stay in the button
Yeah, let's go here.
area enough to be
Move
shot
around.
stone.
So last rock here for Jessica Thorne. Jessica's from Ottawa as well.
Again, using a little bit of weight here to get some action on the stone that she's going to hit. The contact is close to where she wants
Hi,
it,
girl.
but
I think
she couldn't get the red one to spill out, I don't think. It's very close.
it's red.
Really nice attempt by her either way.
Red.
I think it's one red.
I thought
Now,
you had
Ryan
it
seems to
one
think
red.
it might be red.
Okay,
He's
still a
called
nice shot, Jess.
Jessica
One red.
over to have a look.
I thought you
Yeah,
had
and
it.
that's what they're tapping. It is
Sorry about
still
that.
a steal of one
I guess
for
more weight and it spins more.
Hopsin and Tippett in the second end. They're going to lead 2-0 after
Still
2
good,
ends
Jess.
of play.
Throw.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if Jessica could have done much better.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
They had a good look at it, but she really didn't have any other shot. It was sort of just throw it hard and
That's like
see if
the
it can
hardest
go
part,
far
getting the
enough.
rock to
Yeah.
unstick from the ice. I totally
So
get
2-0
that.
score here on our feature sheet for Hopsin and Tippett. We'll update you shortly on all the other scores here once they're all done the second end.
Yeah, and to remind the viewers, these are all B-side quarterfinal games. So the structure of this tournament is a 16-team triple knockout bracket.
Yeah.
And there are 2 qualifiers on the A side of the bracket. So if you go 3-0 through the A side, those 2 teams will get an automatic spot into the playoff semifinals. If you drop a game, you go down to the B side, and if you can win out there, there's 2 spots to make it to the quarterfinals of the playoffs. And if you lose 2 games along the way, you have to go through the C side, and if you can win out the C side, there's 2 spots there for the other quarterfinals. So 6 teams into the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'll have the A-side finals at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tuck and Tuck versus Sutherland and Ryan. And Westland and Stewart against Cottrell and Cottrell.
Yeah, so
It didn't end up being as heavy as I
3
thought
of the
it was gonna
top seeds in this tournament, the number 1, 2, and 3 seeds all in the A-side final. That's Tuck and Tuck, Cottrell, and Westland, Stewart, and Stewart.
So the seeding process must work, Jason.
Yeah.
Maybe a little heavier going this way.
Exactly, and the teams are self-seeded. They do a bit of a survey before with all the teams, and the teams rank each other. Well, third end starting, and again, Kevin putting a really nice shot as his first stone of the end, freezing to that back yellow stone that's in the rings.
Oh, boy.
Tapped it back a little bit.
Okay, Jess. Weight was good.
That
Top
draw
8,
attempt
top
wrecks
4.
on the guard, and once again, a bit behind the 8 ball. When your opponent makes a shot,
Where did
and
you-
then
I
you
like
come
this.
back and don't make your
Yeah, it's
shot,
gonna
it's
throw
really big advantage to
Yes.
the other team.
Yeah.
Let's try to. I think on both
Yeah.
sides you can still get away with mid 12 foot for ice. Okay.
Okay.
I've been tight too though, so let's just take the extra second to get out there.
So Erica will try to draw another one around
Just leave it
here.
throwing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's taking the in-turn, maybe going through the port.
Okay.
Staying away from that
Weight should be
out-turn,
good.
Jason.
Yeah, she wasn't really happy with that out-turn side in her very opening match.
Yeah.
Thought it curled a lot at times. So taking the in-turn side. It's trying to curl past that yellow stone, but it's just going to chip it. But if it stays right in front of everything, that's pretty good. It's a good
mind
result.
the double
Lots of
peel.
guards. I would contemplate peeling at this point.
Like
If
that was-
you're Hahn?
If you're Hahn, that's right.
Okay.
by the way, yeah,
Oh,
really
you're
was
right.
frustrating.
That's what they're
I
doing.
haven't touched it.
Yep, and this is where a lot of teams would play the draw again.
Yes.
And you can make the draw. But the thing is, even if you make it, the button area is going to be still very hard to get your second point in.
Right.
The other team can just lock one on top and you've got no room. So this is a good time to peel. And in mixed doubles curling, as we all know, Mary, you can start hitting when?
Oh, fourth shot.
Yeah, then this is the 4th shot. And, oh, he drives it right back and picks it off.
Wow. I don't think
Didn't
that
do
was
a
the
curl
plan, but
That's a good plan B.
plan
Like I
B, yeah.
Yeah.
did a touch.
And like I mentioned in this mixed doubles,
a touch at the
yeah,
end,
there's a
but-
lot of plan B shots that are made, I think, because there's so many rocks in play.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Mary.
What you threw in the last end?
You know, we were talking about this
spot.
earlier.
Curl the long.
The Hahn and Thorn team, really one of the few teams we've seen out here using the peels early in the end. And when we mean early, it's already halfway, almost halway through the end
Sorry, I didn't know
now.
that was
Right.
a question.
Because there's only 5 rocks being thrown, so it's
Yeah.
really not that early.
A hair less.
Okay. Let's start making some shots in a row. So I think for draws,
There's still lots of guards out in front, so Erica's going to try to make a draw in, use the
I think
out turn this time.
Weight should be good.
This we think is the curlier of the 2 turns.
Yep. Okay, room. Room.
You can see. Got a lot of room right now, but Kevin was already on it early just to make sure we were getting by because
Yeah.
they've seen this side before, and now look at this curl right in.
Hard to
It's
get
just
back.
a little heavy.
Yep, yep, go, go, yep, yep, yep. Keep it going, keep
Sorry.
it going.
Yeah, fully buried back of the forefoot. And once again, you can make the decision to play the draw, or you could again decide to make a peel. Just depends how you feel right now.
Looks like they're opting for the draw.
I think a third into the 12 foot's good, eh? Okay. So like a 410. Seems to glide well, like hers didn't slow down.
What?
Top 12 would have been better than that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's get a bite of that button.
Okay.
Like we started the
So in our other games, Jason, we have a tie game over on sheet 2 with the kids up against Fairfield and Gebhar. We have a 2-0 lead for Macaulay Way over Konings and Wazilki.
Yep. Whoa.
And we have
Where?
another tie game over
Room.
on
Yep.
sheet 5,
4.
April and Bennett up against Greenman and
Hard to
Zuliani.
top 4.
Yeah, some close games
No
to start. Ryan Hahn now trying to follow this draw in. Waits very close, slipping just behind the tee, but it is shot stone, corner frozen.
Take what you can get. That's fine. There's a shot in front of it. That's good.
But still an opportunity for Erica to draw right on top.
It doesn't
Yeah.
break
Would
the
Ryan
button.
have preferred that?
Collins the
Just
same way as last
sort
time.
of biting the top of the button?
Yeah, that would have been a really good spot, I think.
Yeah.
2 feet, a foot and a half. Or no, not that, like a foot, I think. It's gonna overfill.
Yeah,
it
it just went a little deep.
It's less. Gotta go.
now. She said that.
Well, here we see Kevin shuffling around the back of the stone. And that's based on what
Close.
Erica's calling in terms of the line. Right now he's holding it on the straight side, sweeping against the curl. This is really good looking rock.
Beauty.
Oh, I don't know.
Look at that, right
Nice shot.
onto the top of the button, side of the button. Shot stone, Mary.
Yeah, and that was the problem with Ryan going a little bit deep, a little behind the tee line on his.
I can
Gave
try to
Erica
throw a
that
softer
opportunity.
handle to get it to go there if you
Now
want.
what?
Do you like
Well-
that? Like, there's not really much else.
I'm not sure if peeling's going to help you now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you could probably make the draw, but you can still peel if you wanted to.
Oh my God.
Try to open up an easier shot for yourself, but
Right.
I like the peel
could've-
for the last shot as well.
Like 87. On the
It
first
wasn't a
two,
really
then
great
240
end setting
for
up,
the
and
You were like,
they could have
Feels
peeled on
heavy-
the last
feels
stone
heavy. I was
and
like,
made
there's
use
no
of the
chance it's
corner
heavy.
guard maybe later on. It's hard to say. I mean, if you make your shots,
great shot.
as you know,
Money.
the best shot's the one that you make.
Okay,
Yeah. And I think
so I'll give you the same weight.
Thorne and Hahn are
Yeah.
kind of wanting to score at least a point here in the third end.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to give up another steal.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
And I do think there is enough
Whoa.
curl
Yep.
here.
whoa,
Erica
whoa,
was well by that guard, and it still got fully buried.
whoa.
It sure did. This
Finish!
line's looking good if the weight's
Finish!
okay.
Yeah, it looks definitely tighter than Erica's. Now you can see Jessica sweeping the curly side, trying to get to the inside. He's gonna get to the inside. Can he get far enough in?
No, he's definitely not shot.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Okay, good sweep.
Yeah, I do
Here?
think red is still shot stone. Yellow is second
Yeah.
and third.
He's safe.
Yeah.
That red stone's in a really good spot still, I think. It's hard for them to remove it at all. There's no
Yeah.
real angle where they
Yeah.
can hit the red out. So,
Yeah, the only thing I'm seeing is they've got that yellow on the intern side
Yeah,
that
it
they
is.
may have to use on their last.
yeah, on the left side of your screen, just in front of the rings,
Probably
Easy.
getting
It is
rid
completely
of
buried.
everything in
I
the
think,
next
yes,
game,
if you
the
use
green
that
and the
stone and
white.
hit it
Wondering
in,
what we're guarding.
you'll get the red
Like-
squirting away from the rings, and you might
This is our only
be able
shot.
to score.
I know what I'm thinking.
One or
We're
two.
Giving him a rock to throw into that.
Let me go take a look at the red.
We're moving a bunch of rocks, right? So I don't
The other
think
shot,
throwing
of
like
course,
a 5 or a 9 at it.
that Hahn and Thorn can play is to
Yeah.
try to play a quiet tap on their Yellowstone. That is right now buried in second
You only have
shot.
to move it like an inch. Yeah, this is the right shot.
That tap is pretty hard though too, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Okay, yeah. And if he plays the guard, he only has to move
I
it.
think the
A,
thinner the better.
if he plays the
Because you're trying to stick
one he just threw,
onto
he only
the
has to
crease.
move it an inch.
And I think as long as you
So-
throw a decent enough weight and just spring everything out.
I was just
of the
thinking,
4
okay.
foot.
Okay,
I think it's going to move a little, but not a lot.
sure. And maybe for that red rock there on the board.
really depends what Kevin and Erica think the other team can make on their
Right.
last shot, and I think
We don't really have,
their belief is that tap is more makeable,
I guess.
so they're going to take that away.
So let it die. Make sure it's over. Just leave it.
I think we just run A.
Looking to put up a guard, and Kevin does that, so
Yeah.
I think that does take away the tap, or at least makes it even harder, so
He's got this for
I think it'll come up a little.
2 maybe.
Let's make this.
Ryan and Jessica looking for that angle run back.
So will they play the run back here or just a tap for one,
Maybe
Jason?
3.
Yeah,
to
you
get
could
it
play
right.
it just for one.
Going.
The difficulty with just the straight tap is half of the button, the right side of the button, is sort of
There's a
cut
couple
off
buttons
already.
easier.
Yeah.
You sort of have to just tap it straight onto the
that.
left side of the button, and that's a lot more difficult than if you have the whole button to work with.
Like 4 or 5 inches of ice off the rock.
Regardless of you're sitting good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pardon?
Just repeat the start of that in again. So you get.
Yeah, same feel. 9 seconds.
I think it's easier if you play this with a bit of weight.
You can control it more.
You should curl here.
That's what they're doing.
Ryan picking this up right away. That means it's a bit on the tight side. He's sweeping the side to keep it straight. Pretty close.
Atta
Makes the
girl.
contact, sticks
Sorry.
around. That's 2 for
2
yellow,
yellow.
maybe. I don't know. It looks 1 for sure. Have a look around the rings. That second
Nice
one is a
shot.
little bit on the close side, but I think it is 2.
What a great shot.
Yeah, really good shot.
Yeah.
And that
I
was a
saw
shot
that.
for
Oh,
2
okay,
points,
way
and the
tight.
game is all tied up now. Yeah, I was a little bit curious about which side to guard, because I thought
Yeah.
that side was the opportunity for 2.
Absolutely, yeah. The other side, I don't know if they really had much.
Yeah, it was a very difficult tap, and it would have only been for 1. So
Yeah.
I would have been tempted to guard that shot.
Yeah.
Also knowing that Jessica and Ryan do like to play hits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that might have been their preferred shot anyway.
So all tied up here, and now Tippett and Hopsin have the hammer.
If you make it perfect, we actually may have been able to get 3.
Yeah, important 2 points there
I'll
from
take 2.
Jessica and Ryan
Okay.
to tie up the game.
Yeah. I mean, they're chasing. So.
I think 2 feet more.
No,
and I
so
think
far,
that
I
was the
think
design.
Yeah.
Hopsin
On
and
both
Tippett,
sides, it
they've
seems to just
had a
be
better
tucking
sense
in.
of the ice.
Yeah.
They've been playing better draws.
Yeah.
But one good shot
Pardon?
makes a big difference there, and
Sure
Yeah,
does.
Let's go here.
Jessica made it.
405.
Hopsin and Tippett have been on this sheet before. I'm not sure, how different this sheet is from the other sheets, but
Please
that might
close,
give them a
little hot.
slight advantage.
Back 4.
Yeah, so far in this game, I think Jessica's been overthrowing her draws. Now this one, I think the weight's a bit better, but needing it to curl.
Okay, Jess.
Yeah, just didn't quite get that finish. Her weight was pretty nice.
There we go. Now we're making that weight. That's really good. Wider? Really?
Yeah.
Wide, eh? Were you wide or were you wanted to slide?
Yeah, completely exposed.
Edge of 8. That took a while for her to that come in, eh?
I think you'll see Kevin play that same turn.
Because you're out that far, it just didn't go as much. With that
Has a little bit of backing to work with. You know, yeah, you can use the backing if you're a little bit heavy, but I think the best shot is to actually be biting the top of the button behind the guard.
Yep, yes! Yes!
That yellow stone's already behind the tee line, Mary. It won't get any closer to the middle.
Hard!
But this one's curling very early on Kevin.
Yeah, and this is about the end where we start to see this. Now
I think
he
that was
doesn't
handle
didn't
issues.
have a great rotation
they
on that
roll
rock,
in?
and this ice is very conducive. You have to have a good
Get the
rotation
hammer here. Keep
Yeah,
going.
out
that's fine,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked like it was almost going sideways at the end.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a
Like a
light rock.
three?
It had plenty of weight.
Okay.
Would have definitely tapped the yellow stone.
Well,
Well, I suppose not a terrible result, as they do have the hammer.
Yeah.
They've kind of ticked things over to the
Yeah, just
side,
biting
those
on
guards.
three.
So
Yeah, he's got a couple of corner guards out of it, and
Yeah.
even though
I'm thinking
most of the play
between
is directed at the
Aggie
middle,
and
if you make a tick on that first stone that
Okay,
you
I'll
can
make sure
play
I'm
with the hammer
good.
team, you can actually draw the play away from the middle, because they can make a hit now on their next shot.
right.
Ryan's going to probably try to put up the guard again,
We're out
or
there.
maybe even come in.
Room, curling now, still room.
I think a guard is
Switch.
probably most
Gotta
advisable,
curl.
but you could
Yep.
also come in and sit in the
Whoa,
top of the rings.
Whoa, sit.
Yeah, they do decide on the guard. I think they would have liked that to be a little bit more to the left.
Okay.
Overcurled a little.
Maybe guarding
Do it
half of
right.
their yellow stone.
Right.
I think with the curl on the
Yes.
ice, you can definitely get to the inside of the yellow.
I was like
and
edge
flop
of
onto the
8,
button.
But I think I was tight.
Oh, did they? They hung our score.
I think so, yeah. Like, I'll keep
Again,
it out
this
there
is
with
an
the leaving.
instance where
It'll come.
a team can give consideration to peeling off that center guard. You could even peel the center guard and roll into the other corner guard that's on the right,
That's heavy.
on the left of the yellow, and
Heavy.
squirt it in.
Bu-
And you'll see that coming up on your screen. Erica's rock now taking off too.
Yeah,
That turn is
That
maybe picking up
really
some extra
caught.
curl too. Yeah, and they're just going to bump this yellow stone into the rings. The red one spills in. That's what I was thinking. You
Think
could
we
have
just
peeled the
did?
yellow one and rolled the red one in. Sit second and third shot. And again, keep the middle open.
I think so. I think the intern. Huh? Oh yeah.
yeah, they've lost a couple of rocks on
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
particular spot, so they'll have to watch
It's either
that.
that or we can hit their top one and roll.
Both teams will.
Playing the head here.
I like sitting 3.
Yeah,
or
they
even
didn't
if we
notice
roll out,
whether
sit 2, right?
We'll,
Erica and Kevin did anything special with their release or their
Yeah.
rotation. Certainly, I wouldn't expect any flat spots in the opening draw of the day.
Right.
The ice should be quite fresh and,
Yeah.
ready to go in the morning draw.
Playing intern.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
We said this is our hitting team, and Ryan's going to play a hit on that back second shot stone.
Yeah!
Remove the red one.
He's got it.
Hard! Any roll, any roll.
Try to roll it away.
Okay.
Almost on the nose and leaves a bit of a pocket. That's why they wanted to roll away, right, Mary?
Yeah, but at the same time,
Just really, you're right.
I don't know. Is this a good way of forcing Hopsin
I
and
don't hate
Tippett to
sitting
1
3 up.
point? Because they're obviously, I think, are they going to draw into that pocket?
Yeah, I think so, but it's actually hard to just draw into the pocket, Mary.
Yeah.
The two draw sides are actually cut off right now, so
Yeah, they'd have to actually throw tap weight at it to get through that port.
yeah, maybe tap the yellow stone that's a bit higher and just rolling onto the other stone.
I just think if we play the double, yeah, like how we, this is our best chance for 2. I mean, even if you come back like the
Yeah.
same weight you threw,
Just need to be there. You can,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, but I think even, yeah, almost the same way I just threw.
Unless you like throwing the intern at it.
No, I just don't know what that's.
Mary, I might think about playing a double here. If you hit the yellow stone, one of them is a little bit higher than the other one. If you hit the one higher first, come off the other one, you might get some backspin and roll it behind the corner guard.
Right.
And then you'll sit first and third shot. And second shot is completely open right now to hit, so a double might be a pretty good call too.
If we play the double, I think we just quit.
That'll open up the middle as well for you. If you can't set up a 2, at least the middle will be open to score your single point.
I think we just
It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight.
look at top-ish.
They've decided to throw a tap in here. It's a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
It needs to curl past their own red
You
one.
gotta make sure it doesn't
Don't
outcone our
think
yellow.
it's going to curl
All the way,
past it.
Jess, you
No,
gotta go.
they've
Push, push, push.
punched their red one
Right out.
through and roll towards the center, and that is
Okay.
not a good result. They've just created a guard for the Thorn and Hahn team.
I don't really see anything else, do you? Like hitting that, I'd rather them move that than us hit it. Like there. Okay. So just bite the center line.
And Mary, this is where you have to be a bit careful when you're playing the softer weight shots, the taps, the draws. If you miss on the line, sometimes you can make it worse for yourself. A hit, it's a lot easier just to, get sort of a neutral result or even a semi-positive result if you can move something.
Right.
So 425? What do you think?
But in that case, not only did Erica lose their third shot stone, they've rolled their shooter to a guard, and
And I was mid-throw,
Yeah,
so
so
like,
if Ryan
there, right?
puts up another good
I'm
guard
not
here,
controlled the line early. I'm just afraid if we go it wide. And
Hopsin and Tippett are going to have a hard time scoring.
yeah, the only good news is the pin is available right now, so they could tap
Yeah.
those red stones in.
Yeah.
Room. 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 Got a curl. Whoa.
It's going
hold
to
it
start to
straight.
curl hard here.
Straight.
And I think
Whoa.
they're hoping to just cut off this
Off.
intern
Right,
hole.
off.
Ryan is very animated out there.
Yeah, we saw Ryan at the under 21 provincials at
Yeah, I
Annandale
know.
Yeah.
over the holidays, and he definitely is very animated.
Yeah.
It was a very nice stone as well.
Oh,
That was
yeah, we
great
did.
competition, the under
We almost
21s.
got over-
Yes, it was.
It'd be like his hit that he threw here.
Yeah, well, we're just fighting, right?
It was like the hit he threw.
Well, the hole is still there
It's
on the
just better
intern
if they
side.
like
Here.
gotta go
I think
from
you have to
right
put
looking if you're
play a little bit of weight at it to
The
make
hole's
it
there.
through.
And it goes even more.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
like
okay.
basically, you're looking at
Okay,
just like
that's fair.
But not too much weight. Just the way the guards are staggered, you've got to get enough weight so that it doesn't
yeah,
over curl, but
move forward to get through that.
I think
soft enough such that it curls a little bit.
The more they come off. Yeah, it'll go even more.
Guys, remember his hit? His hit that hit ours back here. This rock here. That's basically it's a shot we're throwing right now to get through this hole. What? No, he threw the intern. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'd like to sweep it too,
I
though.
think they're throwing like a board weight hit, but then you can then you just go through the hole to hit it, right?
Well, it's definitely there, Jason, the right-hander's intern here. Through the hole.
I think so. Just have to curl
Yeah,
off the
I
rock.
sort of like maybe board weight, maybe board plus.
I think with the way it curls, I think you need plus.
A little bit stronger, maybe control even.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, you're right. That is the curlier side, Mary. So maybe control weight.
when we make shots.
Try to get through that port. If you can get through the port, you're definitely shot rock. You'll be on the button.
Oh, yeah.
Remember his was like, oh, he's gonna pick his own out, and it didn't, and it stayed straight.
It's like it's almost hard to judge.
Yeah.
the line. Like I threw.
Middle of the
Back here.
yellow. Yeah, no
We
more.
were on the garden. I got you sweeping it, and it came off. So I'm thinking with soft weight, it should just like run sideways.
Whoa, whoa.
So he's throwing
Should be
a
that.
full weight
Here's
hit here.
thinking that.
Needs it to curl. It's trying to, but I don't know if it's going to get through. Maybe get a little plan B. Hit a little bit too full for the plan B. She opens up one side of the sheet,
don't
but
know how they
I think
score it
Hahn and
either.
Thorn is going to just take this away.
Yeah.
Question is, what's the best spot to
there's
put
not
this,
that
Mary?
easy, but I think that's really good.
Is it right on the top of the button, like
Torrance is
Ryan is
wide
pointing,
in
or
the top,
top of the 8-foot, like Jessica pointed to?
Well, you know, I suppose,
Yeah, I think there is good.
I think coming right to the
Right
button
here,
is
just
probably
top
good, but as long as the angles are
Let's
good
go, Jess.
when the rock comes to rest. You don't want to set up any kind of a triple.
Yeah, I think for, you know, a novice curler, you might think coming right to those yellow ones and sitting on the pin is the best shot. And if you do that, you're definitely going to score one. I don't think there'll be any way the yellow rock can go away, but if you get there, I think it's actually easier for the other team to cut you down to just one.
Yeah.
I think if you can leave us a little bit shorter, maybe just top of the 4-foot,
Or even 2 feet left.
maybe even top of the 8-foot, you might end up getting a steal of 2 or 3 out of this.
Sorry? Yeah. Or no,
So again, with the scoreboard the way it is in a tied game, I'd take my chance and just try to steal multiple. Your setup is really good right now.
If they play right to
We'll
it, I
take the fourth
could
and
see
break
it
if I'm
curling.
So this is the last rock for
Overcurl
Jessica
right
Thorne.
at the
Okay,
end,
Jess.
maybe.
Jessica U21 mixed doubles
Leaving it at the
provincials
top or-
20 and 2018, as well as the women's provincials. She's a student environmental engineering at Carleton University.
Go line. Five, 4.
They have to go hard on this
Variant
one
is
for
better than
line.
thinking here.
Yeah, the line's getting a little bit tight.
Yeah.
I think it is rubbing off the guard, so they're going to try to get a little bit of a bounce. I don't think they're going to get enough of a bounce here, and this is going to let Hopsin and Tippett off the hook a little bit. There's still some pressure. They are drawing against 3, but at least they can see the button.
Kinda
It
weird,
looked
eh?
tight,
Yeah,
you know,
in a
to me.
spot here that
Like,
really curls
but
nicely, so
I was over top the rock.
Yeah, you move that yellow stone over a rock and a half.
What?
I don't think that draw is going to be there.
yeah.
Just like where I aim,
Okay.
like aim for the edge.
And you've got a good chance to steal 2, maybe even 3. Now
Oh yeah.
So then, if you thought
you give Kevin an opportunity to draw into the button
Good
and
ice, yeah.
score his
Showing
single
4
point.
seconds here.
It's never easy drawing against 3, though.
Oh.
Never,
Okay,
no.
I guess we can communicate that better. Sorry, I thought you were going mid-12. Yeah. Weight, and like, that's tolerance weight, right? Like, yeah. Yeah.
Line's good. Yeah, can't hurt it. Hard. Hard, hard, hard,
Line's
hard.
great here.
Yeah, the weight looks pretty good, too.
It does, yeah. Looks like
Okay,
a great
well-
shot.
Yeah, Kevin just took a deep breath and said, I'll throw this like I know, and
Yeah.
puts it right on the pin. Nice way to finish that end for Hopsin and Tippett. They were really in trouble all end. One over-curled rock. Again, on the curlier side, and so maybe Jessica and Ryan just not picking up that fact that that side is a bit curlier. That guard over-curled on them. Provides an opportunity for the single point, and it's a 3-2 game. Hopsin and Tippett leading after 4 ends of play. And the teams have the option of taking a bit of a break, and I think the Hahn and Thorn team is one of the 3 teams who have a coach here. So
Yes.
you can see their coach out on the ice now, and they're entitled to, I think, 5 minutes.
So then
Yeah, they'll have a little
yeah, like leave
chat with the
whole
coach.
part of the-
So Mary, have you ever been a coach?
Like, 'cause that was
Yes,
tolerance
yeah,
weight.
I
It was
actually
just
I'm
not
certified to
tolerance.
coach, and I coached U18
What was the
girls
speed of
for
my
a couple of
drawing?
years. I actually coached at the Coburg Scotties Ontario's with for Kathy Ald's team.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, that's where we met.
That's right.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a tough job, and I give the coaches a lot of credit.
Yeah,
It's a lot of time away from home, and
trailing us in the first
you know,
half of the end, and then we're bringing it back.
it has its moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it.
You know what?
How about you? Have you ever
Well,
coached?
I have coached.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I coached some bantam girls.
Yeah.
So that would be under 15, I guess.
Yeah.
And it is actually very stressful
Yeah.
to be behind the glass just
Yeah.
watching the game.
Yes.
You want them to do so well.
Yes. Yeah, and you can only call 2 timeouts.
I know.
Where you want to call a lot more, especially for the younger ones, because they have a
Exactly.
lot to learn, right?
Well, I'm happy to report that I think at least 2 of my girls are still curling.
Good. Yeah.
And I think 2 of them may have quit curling. I don't know if it's because of me.
Yeah.
No, I think one of the girls moved abroad, so
Right.
for studying, so
Yeah.
didn't really get a chance to curl the last few years now that they're in university and beyond.
Well, I actually also had an opportunity this past fall to coach a team from China, which I think you knew about,
Yeah,
Jason.
I did.
Yeah, they were over here for a couple of months doing the Bonspiel circuit, and I was coaching them. That was a great experience.
Yeah, was there a bit of a language barrier there?
There was one of the 4 that could speak a little bit of English, so they had a translator here with us some of the time.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of the time we used Google Translate. Or when you're talking strategy, as long as you have that strategy board in front of you,
Yeah.
you can kind of, indicate what. But it definitely was tricky if you went out there for a timeout and they don't understand what you're saying. So I would take my strategy board out on the ice with me and show them what I thought they should do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it makes that 1-minute timeout go by much quicker when you have to work the language barrier too.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun, and a great bunch of girls and very talented players.
Now, did you ever find that when you went out for a timeout or something like that and you suggested a shot and you thought they agreed, but then they played something else and maybe you thought maybe they misunderstood you?
No, they always played what I told them.
So all I have to conclude from that, you're a great communicator.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Or you're a threatening coach.
Are you kidding me? I don't think they were afraid of me. So
Well,
here we go into the 5th end here.
Freeze taps, good.
Yeah, Thorne and Hahn, they've got the hammer. That's why their yellow stone started behind the forefoot, or in the back of the forefoot. Tippett and Hopsin's center line guard.
Like a 405 for.
And again, a very nice shot from Kevin to start the end. He's been
Yeah.
basically putting that first draw in a good spot.
Yep.
During this game.
That curls more.
So in the other games we have kids. The kids are up 3-1 up against Fairfull and Gebhar, and we have Macaulay and Way are up.
It felt heavy out of my hand, too.
4-2 on Konings and Mazilki, and we have a 4-3 game with April and Bennett up on Greenman and Zuliani. So we've got really tight matches out there this morning. I guess that's what we're going to see probably from now on, Jason, that it's going to get tighter. The competition's going to get a little bit
Plug up that hole and you're in the same situation that we
equalized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And also, as the teams get a little bit more familiar with the ice, they'll probably start making more shots too.
Yes.
Top 12, bite top 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they again. This is to go to the national championship in a couple of weeks in Fredericton, New Brunswick.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about the national championships, but there are actually 2 ways to qualify for the Canadians championships in mixed doubles.
Okay.
You can either win your provincial or territorial championship
Gotta go.
and be, in our case, Team Ontario. But there are also a number of teams allotted for other ways of qualifying. I believe the finalists from the previous year get an automatic berth. And there are also 2 major cash spiels that if you win those cash spiels, you can qualify directly into the national championships.
The angle's okay.
And then they also
I
take
think so.
the top number of
think the
teams
intern-
on the mixed doubles rankings. So if I'm not mistaken, actually,
Yeah.
the Tucks
angle's
are
okay.
probably already guaranteed a spot in the Nationals through the rankings.
Okay, so you're saying that there's more than one team that will represent a particular province at the Nationals.
That's correct, yes.
It's not just one from each province.
Correct.
Okay.
It's close.
You'll have the provincial representative plus anybody who's qualified in any other way.
Okay.
That one, that one, that one. Yep, yep, yep.
So, for instance, if the Tucks happen to win this, though, runner-up goes?
I believe the runner-up would go, but actually that's not true. The Tucks would then be Team Ontario,
Okay.
and then they wouldn't go as part of their rankings. The next ranked team below them would get a chance to go in the rankings. I believe there's maybe 10 or 12 teams who actually goes based on the rankings.
Is that right? Okay.
Like a lot.
Yeah, just top 4, bury it.
And I think the Cottrells are also very high up
make
in the
sure number 2
rankings.
here.
I think I said they were maybe 14th on the Canadian mixed doubles rankings, and they're pretty close to guaranteeing themselves an automatic berth. Of course, the benefit of playing here is, of course, you want to be Team Ontario.
Right.
You want to win that crest and the
True.
jackets, and
True.
I think you also get some funding if you become Team Ontario and go. If you qualify through the rankings, I believe you have to incur a few more of your own expenses.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, we talked about peeling Mary, and we saw Ryan Hahn play a run back again.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see what the house looks like right now. It's very different from what we've been seeing previous to this. It's more like a traditional curling game where it's a little more spread out, the rocks, and not as many.
Yeah, and for the team with Hammer, it's actually a good situation because you've got more room to score your multiple points.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work
curl
out, you have the middle open at
Just a
least
gradual
to take your
curl.
1 point. And this is why I'm liking the way Thorne and Hahn are
Good shot.
playing,
Yeah.
using the hits a little bit more strategically, a little bit more often to open up the scoring area when the first couple of rocks don't go your way.
Right.
Oh. No, no, Jess, no. Never.
So Ryan Hahn looks like he's going to play a little tap,
Yep,
a
yes.
hit on this red rock.
Yes! Hard roll!
Nice shot.
Yeah, nice shot.
And now you can see the good situation that Hahn and Thorne are in. They've got second and third shot. Hard to hit either of those out, actually.
Cute,
That
just
works.
Even though that yellow stone is mostly
Really
exposed, it's sort of
came in,
edge
like,
to
I
edge on that guard,
so I
so
was-
it's a little bit tricky to hit out.
When you were cleaning, I'm like, oh no, we're not on the rock.
yeah, you did.
Even if Kevin and Erica hit that rock out,
Yeah, you know it, yeah. Well, it was
they're
good
not
that
going to
we
be
were on it.
even in the 8-foot.
Right. So they'll probably draw around this, Jason?
Well,
His
I don't know if
curled,
they'll draw around it or not. They can draw around it.
Okay.
Almost.
They
yeah.
might just think that that rock's too
You need
dangerous and they have to hit it, right?
Right.
Those
yeah.
yellow might spin in.
Just
I think it
control
is a
that,
little bit on the dangerous side. I would tend to hit
Yeah.
this.
It's going to be hard to get under, I think. If I ever do that, we can just hit the bottom.
It's okay, it'll come.
Yeah, I think that's what
It'll
they
come.
decided to do. Maybe even if you can roll it over so that it maybe sits on the 8-foot, roll it a little bit to the outside. I don't know if you can catch the 8-foot, but maybe roll it over and protect your own rock right
Okay, I
there
think we have to try to make this double.
and be first and second. That's pretty good.
I think if you make the double, you make the roll. I think the outturn. Like 4 inches.
So I think Ryan's going to take on the double here.
Yeah, I think the double is a good option. Or if you just make the hit and roll behind the guards. Try to sit second and third again. Depending on the angle you roll it at, you might even be able to roll it in for shot stone.
Little, but not a lot.
If you throw a little bit
Yeah,
less
for
weight
sure.
and get a
Yeah.
steeper roll.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't hate playing for the roll, and if we get the double, we get the double. Like a 10. Yep. Whoa! Whoa, whoa! No!
It's close to the double.
Back one, back one!
Red onto red. Sweep the other one. Well, I think red is still shot stone.
Yeah, just needed to
Curl a hair more, I think.
Yeah, curl up a tiny bit more.
But again, the situation for Hahn and Thorn is still pretty good. Second and third shot, they've got a rock in the top 12 that they can definitely promote. I'd be very worried about that stone if I were
we're one.
Kevin and Erica.
I don't know, they might hit.
But again, I almost think you have to play a hit on the yellow stone.
Hit and be shot over the 8,
If you're, but this is the last stone of the end for this team, so they may decide to just draw in and sit 1 and 2. That's the other option, Mary.
Look at it.
Sorry, I thought I was starting.
Yeah,
They're going to go have a little discussion about this.
Good draw to the 4 foot.
Worst case, you wick off of this, and it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Think they've decided on the draw based on where they're tapping? I think if you can make the draw, you're in a pretty good spot there.
You are, yeah.
For buried, but you
Yeah.
got to be in the rings because
Yeah,
your
I
rock
know.
is completely open right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to be sitting first and second would be nice.
Like middle 8 here.
Yeah, the more conservative play is to hit the yellow stone that's at the
I've
top.
been throwing for.
But if you don't make the double, then you're giving a
That'll work.
pretty easy shot for 2. So
So I think they're straight drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is
Hi.
not
Well,
curled.
let it work. Let it work. Gotta work.
the line looks pretty good on this rock. Is it going to curl enough, though? It just curls by.
Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, I like
Really
the nose
nice.
if you like the nose. How much do you like 10-5
I thought it was
for weight?
light, so I
Okay.
wanted you to sweep it.
10-5 there, I
Hey,
think.
good sweep.
Should move.
No.
Shot stone and second shot stone belong to the red team. That's Hopsin and
That's the one.
Tippett.
Yep.
I think Jessica decided to throw a quiet hit here through that hole.
Good sweep.
Yeah.
Good judge.
Score there 1.
Hair, more weight. We've let it work a bit more. But
Okay.
I think that would probably be about her only option, really.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, the tap on the yellow is very
But we
difficult.
can roll.
Don't
Yeah.
have a
His
much
hit
room
here
to
Yeah,
get
oh,
by
yeah,
that
yeah,
red
like
stone.
straight, and then it really moved.
Oh,
She
wait.
pounded there, so this is.
I don't hate
So
like
not
a
an
heavy
easy
board,
shot
but it will
here.
curl
Off the
more,
guard
so you're
here.
going to need more ice.
Yeah, a little bit tricky and
What are you thinking? Let's decide board weight or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
then,
thinking.
Simmer.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Center
I was like,
of
we're not
our
flashing.
To negotiate that port and you know, it will curl depending on the weight you throw here.
yeah, they've been caught a little bit on how much this side curls
Yeah.
during this game. So let's see if they've got this figured out here.
Yeah, yours are inch right there too. So. Ooh.
For the final stone of the 5th end.
She's a little out there on this one.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
they need to use some sort of a plan B? Maybe
Yeah, they
run the
could've.
yellow into the red. No, it's going to drive by everything. That's a steal of 2 for Hopsin and Tippett. Huge steal of 2.
It's like a controlled weight.
Yeah,
Do
she,
you want to use the power play?
again, you know,
wanna
those
throw
types of
one inside or do you
shots,
wanna
Jason,
throw?
are not easy,
I'm
and
good with
I
whatever you
think
want to do.
maybe worried a little bit
Okay,
about the
go.
curl
You
there,
want-
so she might have overthrown that a little bit.
It would be different. Like we're down
5-2 is the score.
Do you wanna
Hopsin
switch
and
it?
Tippett leading a Hahn
I am
and
confident
Thorn.
Throwing 1 and 5. Are you confident throwing the middle?
You know, they gave up a steal of 2 there.
Or do you,
They'll need to come back with
so
a
you
good
want to
end.
keep throwing 1 and 5?
I'm wondering whether they'll
side
decide
do
to
you
use the
want?
power play here or
Mhm.
not. I think it might be advisable,
I will
Right.
take this side, please.
but they actually played a pretty good end. I mean, I like the fact that they opened it up early when it didn't look very good in the house. they gave themselves a chance to score. If they got one miss, they could have scored 2 or 3. The Hopsin Tippett team didn't miss any shots in that end, so.
Yep. Good. Want to take a look?
So all the other sheets are into their 6th end here. We've got the kids are up now 4-1 against Fairfall and Gebhard. We've got Macaulay and Way. They are up 6-2 on Konings and Wazilki. And we have a tie game with April and Bennett and Greenman and Zuliani playing the 6th end.
Yeah, and on our sheet, indeed, Thorn and Hahn, they're electing to play the power play. So the Yellowstone, the one in the house for the team with the last rock, that goes onto the side of the 8-foot. It's going to bisect the 8-foot and the 12-foot line. Right behind it, or right in front of that, is the corner guard of the team without last rock. That's the red stone you see right there.
Shoot.
Around the corner.
And again, a few different ways to defend against this situation. We saw Hopsin and Tippett
Little bump
in the opening draw, and their strategy was to go into the house when a power play was played against them. And as we know, Hahn and Thorn can't hit that redstone right now.
Yeah, this one here, I'm assuming they wanted it a little more closer to the 4-foot.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for. But, you know, anything tight guard to top of the rings is actually an okay shot because it can't be removed. And I think being down by 3, you're going to see Jessica throw a drop either behind the corner, or they can play a tap on this redstone. Those are the 2 options.
I think they were going around the corner here, but it's really not getting the curl. It's starting to go a bit now.
Okay, Jess.
Yeah, I don't know if they just took too much ice there.
And again, we've talked about it. They don't really know the ice there because everything has been outside in to this point.
What do you like?
Yeah, and now you're going inside out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that too.
Good, we're in the house. Like I.
Yeah, it is in there for shot stone, and
Yeah, she's basically at the red rock.
Surprised it didn't move.
you can't hit that rock. We're still in, this is the 3rd rock being thrown in the end, so you can't hit yet.
Okay, that
You
hits
can
her all
tap
day,
things
right?
back.
It
We're gonna
I
hit
think
but,
that
whenever
may
we
be the
want.
play
I
here.
didn't sweep
Or you
like
can play the,
Bother, yeah, because if you can
Just
just
leave it
110%,
open.
but I was like
Tap it up.
90% all the way.
or just a straight draw, yeah.
Well, not all the way. As soon as I got on it. I
Okay.
don't hate where it is because it's a tricky double, right? Like it's
It'll
the third
curl.
of the rock. Yeah, exactly. That's why. I don't hate it.
Mind it now because
I don't want to tap.
Pardon?
you like the tap.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the tap. Like if you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know if it's a
Well, what if-
problem yet. Though. Like I don't. Do we want to deal with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we can run it and roll
Let's
in.
play the straight draw.
Yeah. Like if they sink one or roll one perfectly behind, then we can like
Sure.
hit the top
Yep.
one, hopefully onto the back one, and roll over. To
85.
When a power play is called against you, Mary, it does put the team without last rock in a very uncomfortable position because you can't hit the first 2 rocks that, or the first rock that the other team throws. And so the question is, what do you do?
Right.
I don't want to.
Do you just ignore all those rocks and draw to the middle? Or do you try to move the other rocks around a little bit? And yeah, you could tap the Yellowstone back,
Sit.
but I actually like the draw call here. It's
Yep. Right out. Hard.
as long as it sticks around for first or second shot, it's just a little bit too deep. That's probably just going to help
just around
the Hahn and Thorn team. They didn't actually want to move the Yellowstones, I think, because
Well,
you
we
could
can
actually
split
play a
them.
double on those Yellowstones right now.
Yes.
So if you
Well,
just
I was
draw
thinking
in, it
mine would
forces
go, like, roll
Hahn
this
and
way
Thorn
and
to
push that
actually
back.
move those Yellowstones around a little bit.
Like T back 4.
It's okay. Just have
You can play a bit of a split shot
double
here,
steer,
Mary.
Thin double.
Yeah, for sure.
They're gonna make a move on this now.
Yeah. Like you say, they're going to have
Like,
a
I'm pretty
double
sure
at
they're just
some
gonna
point
start hitting
here.
now.
Hopsin and Tippett. So
out turn.
You've
Same
got
way you did
hammer,
the
and typically you like to spread them out, but
edge of button.
we'll see where he puts
I think
this
it'll curl 2
rock.
feet at least.
Yeah, he's gonna play.
Yeah,
something
one
to lose the
option
double.
is to split, you
Or
know,
you
play
like
back
that
8
one.
weight,
Mm-hmm.
move that yellow stone that's in the 8 foot to one side, roll the shooter to the other side, maybe get them both buried. Another thing you could just do is to guard that shot stone.
Whoa, where? Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, close.
It's looking
Yes!
like, based on the weight, they're trying to play some sort of a split.
Oh, it's moving there now.
Yes! Whoa! Switch! Roll,
Okay.
Maybe you need a little bit more weight for the
I
split.
know.
Yeah.
I think-
Well,
I-
splits are one of the hardest shots to make perfect, Jason.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I thought weight was good.
I think you end up rolling out here.
Still not
Well,
enough.
it definitely
double.
gives
3 feet more.
Hopsin and
Yeah,
Tippett
I
some
thought it-
options here at doubles or hits and
They're,
rolls.
they're gonna play it. Yeah. Which side do you like? I like this side. Whatever you see. Whatever you see. I just because you got this option. Like plan B is this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think some sort of a double is advisable here. They're sitting 3 right now,
Yeah,
yellow.
like-
That's Thorn and Hahn, and they've got the last stone advantage, down by 3 here in the 6th
Yeah, I
end.
agree. Like you're aiming for that back yellow one on the right.
And like
You're
if
just
she
aiming
makes-
like
even
in
if
the
she
middle of
makes
it
a double
almost.
and roll or hit and roll, then we can hit the front one and roll over to guard it and try to move them around.
I'm sort of liking the double on the top 8 rock and the one behind the guard.
Sit.
Misses the double, but gets the hidden roll. Just rolls a little bit to the open. I think it is completely open on the other side. Needed to hit it a little bit
Like
thinner
a
to make
good
that double.
board.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Were you sleeping for this one?
Well, in the end, yeah. In the end. At first, no, but it did actually move more than I was anticipating.
You'll see Ryan making a hit on this red stone, that shot stone, I'm sure, or that second shot stone.
I need
There we
like
go.
25
And then-
feet more than what I just threw for board weight.
This isn't a game you'll
20
find
feet
on
more?
a pretty curly
Yeah, I'm thinking if
15?
he
Like 8 inches.
even hits it right on the nose there, Jason,
Okay.
not a bad shot. I think the other team's going to go for that open yellow rock on their next one and maybe even get a roll, though.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa,
Yeah,
no.
that's maybe why
No.
leaving this on the nose and open is actually the best play.
Yeah.
Because then you can use that
Exactly.
to push it in if the other team gets the roll. Ryan's a bit out there.
Whoa, take
It's
it
to
back.
curl
Take
here.
it straight, straight.
He's going to
We're
roll
just-
out.
Does he move it far enough? Jessica's got to sweep that one.
That's too bad.
Well, not a terrible spot that
Yeah.
it went to. You've got your yellow stone. It is shot stone, and
Yeah.
it's now sort of almost frozen on that red stone. So hard for Kevin and Erica to hit
Okay.
the yellow
Like
one out
last
now.
Straight next time.
Yeah, they definitely can't remove it.
Not easy. You have
At
to
this
hit it
point.
pretty thin.
Yeah.
Either thin or really hard, or a combination of the two.
Well, I guess if I curl up to there and do that, stuck the top.
Sorry, Jess.
Yeah. Jeez.
Ugh.
He's playing this all day for 3.
Right, so then maybe I sit here, there's shot,
Yeah.
and he's
They're thinking about the freeze.
Yeah.
coming around, and then B play a little tap tap.
Okay, I like it. How you get there?
Now, we've got to remember, they've got 2 rocks left here. Both teams, 2 rocks left.
Good
Um,
shot, so
Be on
that's
the inside or
good.
blasting anyway. If anything,
Sorry about that. That was just a really bad throw.
They just
Yeah,
got to be
I don't
careful
think
if
it
they're
was
playing the
fuzzy. I'm not
freeze. If they don't angle this properly,
Straighter.
Ryan's
up weight. Like I find
and
even
Jessica are going to have a shot
'cause I
to
think-
sit
I think
3.
hard
They
coming
could
that
they
way.
could set up a
Everything's
double.
hard. I think
Yep.
just play it
yeah,
this
that's
way.
true.
Jesus, tight to the red.
Well, if they ever freeze to the
Yeah,
inside,
it's
don't
not
we
curling
just
that much on
toss
this
it and
side.
sit 3?
2.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And then we'll just throw it clean.
Yeah, I
My
think
concern
the
is stuffing their yellow one,
danger is
and
freezing
then, like, we just kind of flop into the open and then
a little bit
and
too
then
much
free
on the
again.
inside.
Even-
Kind of forces them to
Exactly,
wonder,
and that's what they might try to do, only because they're thinking they might want to get shot out of this. But if it's to the inside a bit,
Yep, no further
definitely
than
going to
that.
set up a double.
So then we'll
Yeah,
always be
I
sitting
think
2,
if you
right?
can get
Yes.
maybe just a hair
Like, if they're
inside,
complete-
that would be ideal.
Yeah,
But even nose is pretty good. If you're frozen on the outside,
Yes.
if the double isn't really there because you'll jam
yeah.
on the yellow stone.
It's all there.
The other shot is to maybe just unlock them just
Play
a
right
little
to
bit.
nose!
Couldn't play a little
Right
bit
to the
away.
nose!
Hit it just a little bit off nose. Move the red one back just a little bit to the back of the 8 foot. It is curling really hard right now. It looked like they were playing a bit of a hit weight or a tap weight, but they've gone by everything.
Go, right out, hard. I think if we do this.
Well, that's just you know, she threw that well, and they were not worried
I
about that
agree.
one at all. But like we've seen, you know, once it hits that hog line, it just seems to
On that curly side.
take off. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure now Ryan's going to play a hit here and try to sit 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
love to just hit this right on, dead on the nose of his yellow.
10, I think, should be good here.
Only
Yeah.
because if he hits it, he'll still make the
Especially for the weight.
red one go away. But if he hits it on a bit of an angle,
Yeah.
it will set up a double for the other team.
I think it dropped. It will happen.
Yeah, the other way to do it is to hit it, maybe hit half the rock on the inside and roll really far away.
Whoa! Yep!
Roll all the way across the other side of the 8 foot.
Whoa! Roll the shooter!
I think they've gone for the dead nose.
Triple.
I think that's pretty good. There is a double there, but the one in the
Yeah.
top 4 I don't think is going to squirt out.
Close.
I don't,
don't wanna
think
flash
you
this.
can
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Crap.
squirt it all the way across.
just
Depends
thought
on,
it
was- Oh,
on
yeah.
how lively the stones are.
Sorry.
There is a double on the
Oh, wait, was good or soft?
top
Yeah, I didn't think I overthrew.
4-foot stone and the one that's behind the guard.
Yeah. Either that, or I guess you could hit this one again dead on the nose.
Yeah, it's its second shot.
Right,
Hitting
and
half
then,
rock,
you know, Ryan and Jessica can only get 2.
Okay.
Which I guess if you're playing the scoreboard, that's not bad.
Not a bad situation. That's right. You'll be up 1 up. I think he's wondering whether you can actually throw it hard enough and get enough action to make the triple. And again, it all depends on how much action these rocks have.
Yeah.
Certainly when we go to some of the Grand Slam tournaments or the Scotties and the Briars, the rocks are super lively. And I think the triple is definitely there. Usually curling club rocks are not as lively. So that's the question. We might get a chance to see how lively it is. There's the yellow. They're going to squirt over. Is it going to go out? Yes, it does. So it is lively, pretty lively, those stones. Great shot.
Yeah, he actually,
Good.
Ryan and Jessica are only sitting like
I like whatever
Sorry,
way.
maybe
yeah,
4th shot
We
here.
did.
Third
You
shot,
threw
so
it this way, eh?
Yeah.
it's going to force
Okay.
them to take a point.
Edge of button.
Yeah, and you should have been going. You don't know.
Well, that was a very nice shot by Kevin.
Yeah, super shot.
Yeah.
We weren't sure, again, whether those rocks would fly out. But he hit it hard, and
Good.
the striking bands must be in pretty good shape here at the Brampton Curling Club on those rocks.
So yeah, let it go. Just keep an eye on it. But
Okay.
Well, that's kind of a disappointing situation
yeah,
for
that same weight's good. We were T-line.
Hahn and Thorne here because,
that's a good one.
as you
Good.
say, you know, we talk about the power play. So he's used the power play, and you really like to score multiple points when you use it.
the draw
You
New
gotta
Brunswick.
adjust.
Yeah, they set it up well.
They did, yeah.
you know, you can't really fault them for poor execution.
No, no. And now the draw for a single point.
Yeah, and you can see Jessica, she's playing the same turn as she did on her very first rock of this end.
No, wait.
She's going inside out, really, to the side of the 8-foot or the side of the 4-foot for this draw. Ryan's backed off of it. I think it looks okay.
Oh, I think it's fine,
Nice
yeah.
shot, Jess.
Yeah, I think
Shot.
that
One yellow.
spot is a little bit quicker than if she was to come from the outside into the sliding path area.
Yeah, I think that was really smart to just play the same shot you played before. You knew exactly how it was going to run. So they take their 1 point here in the 6th end and move on. Hopsin and Tippett up 5-3 now. Playing the 7th end.
Now?
So we'll see
This is the
whether
last time we have the hammer.
Hopsin and Tippett are going to use their power play here in the 7th end, or maybe try to just hold on to it, maybe for use in the 8th end if they need it.
Don't score, we'll have hammer in the next. Right?
Yeah.
Not losing my mind. If we don't score, we'll use the power play next time.
Yeah.
And if we score, we'll be up 4.
Meanwhile, peeking over on sheet 2, Kid and Kid leading Fairfull and Gebhardt by a score of 5-1. On sheet 3, McCauley and Way, they're leading 7-2 over Konings and Wazilku, and over on sheet 5.
Stay
It's been
there.
a tight battle so far, but right now April and Bennett leading Zuliani and Greenman. All of these games on the B-side quarterfinals.
For ice,
The winner will move
definitely into the
on to the
12-foot.
next round of the B-side. That's the B-side
I'm
semis.
thinking,
The loser will
we're
drop down to the
slowing a little.
C-side and take the long road
I feel
out
same way,
to the
yeah.
playoffs.
Mid 12-foot. Okay.
The stationary rocks for the
Let's go here, let's
7th
get
end have been set up
Beefy.
along the center line. So Tippett and Hopsin deciding to not use their power play yet. Up by 2 points with the last rock. So they're in a pretty good position right now.
Wait's close. Gotta go, wait. Four, 5.
Jessica trying
Yeah,
to get
please,
this
please
rock
don't
into the
stop
top of the button.
Okay, we're like dead now.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a 4. So I thought.
Jessica's been struggling a little bit with
middle
her
of
draw on the first rock of the
Well,
end.
no, I thought you were good.
Her first rocks haven't
I was
ended up in
worried
a
about
great
mine.
spot. Morning games are always tough.
Okay.
Your body
Well, we
usually
can
isn't
use
as
it.
loose in the morning. You really have to do a good warm-up
I think we have to go steal
before
one,
the
steal
game.
one.
No, something under that, I think. Yeah, I gotta keep it out. Keep it out. Hard.
Okay.
Hard!
And meanwhile,
Get it by,
Kevin's been
hard!
playing really good with his first stones, so
Hard!
that's why a lot of the reason why
Hard!
Kevin and Erica are leading this game. And again, another good sweep. They're going to get it by. It's a little bit on the heavy side. They had to sweep it to get it by the guards, but again, Kevin puts it into the button area. He's been doing that all game.
Really good sweep. Came down too. Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot. Yeah, sorry.
You have one here is fine.
Freeze. They're
Don't give
behind
up two.
TA. Okay.
Yeah, still fine.
Yeah, I think like a 80.
Get a deuce here and make my first one.
So Hahn and Thorne being down 2 points here without, they're going to have to lob a couple of good draws in here, Jason.
Real positive
Yeah,
on release.
definitely. And they've got a
Whoa,
chance here.
running.
They do.
The top of the button and the pin is available because Kevin's draw was a little bit heavy.
Yes!
The line looks pretty good on this shot. Can they
Line's
hold it by the
good.
guard? I think they can. Now it's a question of
Hard,
weight.
Get it there!
Jessica's got to go hard on this.
Hard!
Keep it moving.
Yeah, a
Holy
little bit
moly.
light.
Good sweep.
Yeah, a little bit on the light side and only biting the
Felt
top
like I threw,
4,
like,
and Red's
board
still
weight.
sitting 2,
Great
again with a
sweep.
2-point lead.
Light.
Now this will be interesting to see what
I don't know.
Hopsin and Tippett do.
We're 1 and 2.
They've got a 2-point lead. They're sitting
He's-
2 right now.
I know. Well, which
You know, one option is to try to just guard for the rest of the end and maybe just take those 2 points. If you guard, the other team will have to play some raises or tap backs or something to move it in.
Yeah, I don't mind short.
You can
here.
also try to draw in and
No, no,
freeze
I
on
don't-
top
I
of
don't
the
mind
opposition
short.
stone.
But they can come this way in the shot, or can they not?
Okay, let's play it.
We cleared the guard by.
The danger with the
6
freeze
or
is
8
you could just
inches,
line
I
up
think.
the angle for the other team.
Well, that's what I was
We cleared
thinking,
the front
yeah.
guard by 6 inches.
I sort of, whoa, a little
Maybe
wobble
4.
there. I sort of like just trying to guard here. Even if you give up a steal of 1,
What?
you're still up by 1 and you can use your power play in the 8th end. I like the idea of trying to protect these 2 stones
Leave it to come off of it.
for the next 3 more rocks, and you could end up being 4 up. This shot is slipping behind the tee. Now they're trying to pull it further behind so it doesn't act as backing, but I don't think it ended up in a very good spot. I think Ryan could maybe hit and roll into it.
Yeah, but even if we just push
Yeah,
that,
do just that. Hit and roll into the middle.
it's either that or, well, if we draw there, like if we put one, no, not to bury, but to do this. Then what do? Then they guard, then we double tap, right? That isn't actually really hurting us right now. As long as top, because if I'm heavy, we can come to it, right?
Not much.
What do you think?
I was in between there. I was like, it was too late for me to start sweeping hard. And
Do you want to
then-
call it time?
I just like if we put one there, kind of like if we're shot this way.
It's okay.
Okay.
They'll,
Throw the
they'll put it in the
double
pocket. We'll sit on top of them.
Okay.
Shoot.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there by Erica, slipping deep.
81.
I think they were trying to play maybe a corner freeze on the yellow stone, but even if it came up short as a guard,
I'm just,
that would have
we
been a
make
good
the double,
shot.
We're behind the tee, right? Well, I have one more.
I think
need.
for
I don't
Hahn and
think they can
Thorn,
get shot this way.
knowing that
Like, I feel like we're trying to.
they probably
steal
have to
right now,
steal the
right?
next 2 ends,
If we're stealing, I don't
and the
think we're
fact
trying
that
All right.
the opposition team has a power play to work with in the next end.
to. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we have a
maybe.
tap
It
on
would
both
be
sides, right?
nice to see if you could get
And if I'm heavy, we
a
can
steal of
freeze the
2
back
here.
one and
You've certainly
then
got
we'll
some
be second
backing to
shot.
work with. Those
Yeah,
red
like
stones now
mid-shot.
all clustered behind the tee line.
Okay.
If you can make a tap on your yellow stone or maybe freeze in, maybe make a tap and roll on that back red stone that was just played,
Well, looks like a lot.
that might be the way to get a steal of 2 going.
Room.
Oh, here it comes.
Where? Where? Yep. Whoa.
The line looks pretty good on this shot.
Yep. Whoa.
Not sure what they were trying to play. Just a straight draw?
Yep.
It's very close.
Same weight, Erica.
It's close. Like that's good for if we can force.
Looks
a
like I
steal.
think red's still shot.
Yeah, me too, Mary. I
Then we'll
think
just have to
red
do
might
another
still be shot stone, but
Four in last end.
that yellow rock ain't going to go anywhere.
No,
But
that's
now
for
we
sure.
can even play off of we can play off of that one.
Top
and
four's
pick
okay.
The red, right?
So now what do you do if you're red?
Dude, I don't know how that's.
Yeah, coming off the red's good, too.
Well, can you come and play exactly what Ryan just threw there?
Yeah, come right on top?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I think you can.
Touch more.
this one looks like tighter line.
Yeah, definitely.
This is going to overcurl.
Yeah, I think what I'm noticing with Erica's
I think they're by.
delivery, maybe on her in-turn,
Uh-huh.
is that her slide sort of maybe straightens up out a little bit at the end. And so the rock isn't quite going out towards the broom. It's sort of angling in a little bit right at the
I
end.
don't hate the double.
That'll
tap,
create a
like
bit of
tap,
the
tap
extra curl
to
early
here.
on in the
That's
slide path.
perfect, but dude, I don't even know. Do you think we're shot?
I think we're shot.
Like how sure?
I'm pretty sure we're shot.
If we're shot, we throw the guard.
Okay.
Having
I don't
a
know.
good look here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important for
You would
Hahn and
bet money
Thorn
on
to
it?
know whether they're shot rock
What?
or not. If they really need
Yeah.
to steal here, if they give up a point, they'll be down by
Like
3.
the tap?
That's quite a difficult situation to come back from without the power play in the last end. So if they're not shot rock, I think you have to play some sort of a yellow tap here. Try to get shot
It
rock.
tells me we're not one though.
If you are shot rock, you could consider guarding or playing something different.
I'm not convinced it's them.
I still believe it's red, Mary.
I do, yeah.
No, but our, yeah, okay, I agree.
What are they doing?
Okay,
I
like
have no idea.
Yeah, like 5 feet more,
Neither one
8
of them.
feet more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have one.
I don't think the draw's there on the left.
You have one more left.
I don't know if it's worth it.
So I guess
across
they
the
have
face of my
elected
one.
to do the double tap.
Move it
no,
this
no.
way for me to.
No!
Line looks close to me.
You might pop it out.
They're waiting for the curl, but this does curl.
It's not, though.
Yeah.
Not like we've seen in other games.
Not quite enough, eh?
It's worse.
Oh, wow. Moves the red one over, and I think that's just helping
Don't need to.
Tippett and Hopsin because they can now tap the red one in.
Oh,
I was tight. And
play
it
with
still
whatever weight
didn't
you
move. Like, I
see
feel
the
like
shot.
that's the right weight, eh?
I'd like to keep this one here.
Okay.
I just
Thinking like a half.
just move it here just to make sure we're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Hack, sure.
It kind of just went
Whatever,
over.
whatever
I just
you
left
see
side.
the
Like, I
icing
was
with,
mid-8.
just push it over there.
And
You
in
have to
other
hit,
games
like,
here, we
pretty-
have
Yeah,
Okay.
sooner than you think.
Kid and Kid are up 1 with Coming Home
They only have
against
one shot
Fairfield and
at
Geber.
it Here, so.
Yeah, Fairfield, they scored a 3 in the 7th end to
Yeah,
close the gap.
they
So
close the gap for sure. And then we have Macaulay and Way are up 7-2 with still playing the 7th end.
Okay.
And we have April Bennett
Yeah.
and Greenman and Zuliani.
No
And
more to move it.
Okay.
Like if
it looks like Greenman and Zuliani are 1 up
yeah, but we
without.
just, like,
playing the
backboard,
8th
backboard,
end.
tap
yeah,
for
they also
threes,
just
right?
took a 3 in the 7th end.
'Cause I think
Yeah.
they're
I
trying
think
big
they
weight
used the
now.
power play there and took
Slice-
3.
Trying to slice that 4 in.
So some close games coming down the wire.
Oh.
Here's Erica throwing
Really close.
her last of the 3 stones that she plays.
It's good.
Trying to chip the red one over onto the button. Nice shot.
Good.
Very nice.
What do you think?
I think red could be sitting 2 here, Jason.
I'm pretty sure it's definitely 2 now
I don't think you
because
can
she
get
moved the
4
yellow
you.
stone a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, really tough situation now for
If you
Hahn
go
and Thorn.
here, that might
Not a
end
lot
up-
of ways to get into the top of the button.
Well, even if we do this, right?
The way you screamed, I thought we were on the nose there.
Do you think it curls enough to just?
No, I'm like, we're close.
Yeah.
But Dan, it's, you go from looking like you're flashing to almost like coming up like that.
Like you think that is better than this?
What's that?
You
Okay.
go from flashing to it curling.
Well,
like
it's
both,
just.
And you're.
Yeah. But I think like you want to be, it's kind
great
of like at
shot.
Alexandria, like you want to be up weight because with how this is lined, if you do this, it's springing that way. Just through weight.
Yeah, that shot's definitely there. They're just playing the tap on
Looks
the
like we have a
yellow.
final
Like,
here
I
on
was there and I
sheet
never
3,
know.
Jason.
Yes, McCauley and Wade, they run.
I think so.
They essentially run the other team out of stones
They might be
after
there
the
to-
7th end. So Macaulay and Way are through to the B-side semi-final.
She could definitely sit, they could definitely sit 1.
Connings and Wazilki will drop to the C-side. And again, a very tough situation here for Hahn and Thorn. I think maybe the only option is to play a tap
Okay.
on that yellow stone that's in the
Like
top of the
back 12?
4. See if you can get it close
Even-
enough
Like I think it should come up.
to the pin. I don't think you can get shot rock, but maybe you can
Yeah, you need to hit
sit
like
second
a
shot.
quarter, and I think
Yeah.
we're good.
force a single point to be 3 down.
Take your
3
time.
down isn't the end of the world. You've got hammer, so
Yeah, I'd probably like to throw maybe back 12 weight on this just
Doesn't have
to
too much of it, though.
pump it in there and
She's by the guard.
move that red one slightly.
yeah, if you could.
Yep.
Right, really important shot here for Jessica. Looking for that tap. Now the line, again,
Well, she's throwing.
looks okay.
Line's
Does it
good.
curl enough? It's curling nicely for her.
girl.
Get
Very
some
nice.
movement. Yeah. I wonder if she even got shot rock out of it.
I think she did.
It's very, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She was able to move that red stone enough.
Heel. I think I gotta pop. I gotta.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are shot rock.
It's good though.
Yeah, I guess you have to move this straight sideways.
They're having a look to see if they can chip this red one in sideways.
Oh, look at, like,
Dude, why did we only come to play the last game?
yeah, exactly. Oh man. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna get some water.
Do you think you can make the out turn draw right onto the tee line and be shot rock?
Well, you're not hurting yourself either way. Either option.
Hard to tell. Be
Yeah.
close, but
Like sideways.
can't be
is-
certain.
Like, I feel like it's coming back. Well,
I guess it's worth a try, Jason.
Yeah, I don't think you can hurt yourself by playing the out turn draw.
Ah. Yeah, I know. I'm
They
just
were also
thinking
looking at
of
chipping
where-
that stone on the side of the
probably-
button
there's a
on
couple
the
more
left-hand
plan
side
Bs
of
on
the
this one,
screen.
right?
Hit it really
With
thin
more
and
margin
just
for error?
chipping it over. I just don't know if you
Like
can
I'm off the bottom of this
chip
one
it
even?
thin enough
No, I don't
to
think
make
you
it
can.
to
Thin.
shot
Really
stone.
thin, though. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, might as well. Who's not gonna do much here?
No time clocks here this week, and that's why these players are taking a little bit extra time here, making some of their decisions.
I think they're now looking at the in-off.
Yeah.
Thin off of this yellow stone
Just use
that's
a curl turn. Yeah, okay.
just to the right of Erica. Redirect the shooter into the middle.
Yeah, sure. Or yeah.
Yeah, it also looks like you really can't hurt yourself with this shot either. If yellow's already sitting one, I don't think they can make yellow sit two with anything that they do, so. Close-ish. Just
yellow?
overcurled on them.
It is one yellow?
Yeah, one yellow.
Cool.
It doesn't go point for yellow. That's a big steal for Hahn and Thorn. They've closed the gap now. It's a 1-point game. Hopsin Tippett leading 5-4. Hopsin and Tippett will have last rock in the final end, and my assumption is they're going to use their power play now. Move everything to the side, keep the middle open if they can. We're also down to the final few rocks of the other games in our draw this morning.
Okay, Jess. Okay.
Stay there.
we had 2 brushers. That would have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like top 4? Yeah.
Okay, what's the plan here?
So Tippett and Hopsin up one with coming home,
Okay.
going for the power play
yeah,
here.
Slowing down a little faster than last night.
Where are you going to put this rock, Jason?
Well, it either has to be in the top of the rings or as a guard. There's really only 2 options. You have to steal,
Into the 12
throwing the
foot
guard.
for sure for Ryan.
Well, we can't peel.
Yeah.
So, oh,
We can.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
You can.
so
Tight.
throw.
Remember, this rock can't be removed by the other team, so you can go right into the house. I typically like a tight guard, only because you don't want to try to go for the house and then send it deep.
Right.
Because if it's a guard, it's okay.
Yes. Yeah.
You're going to have to steal anyways. You're going to have to throw a guard at some point. So
Yeah.
you can start with the guard. The other thing with when it's in the house is a lot of times the other team will play a tap on you and just push it to the back of the rings.
Right.
When it's a guard, it's a little bit more tricky
Yeah.
That was a 4.
to do anything with.
So like 85.
Okay, we're
Certainly
sure
you
about
can
that?
play the tick shot if you wished.
I'm not doubting. I'm just make sure.
A lot of teams will just draw around it and try to get to the top of the rings first.
Yeah.
She can hit on her, so they're just going to start ripping the guard. But let's get one in their shot and just guard.
Just hold it. And we'll rip it. That's going to be the first one of the 4 foot.
Taking a long time, Jason, to decide what to do here.
Yeah, maybe they are thinking about a draw versus a tick shot.
I prefer. Jeez.
Okay, let's just talk for it.
Yeah.
The other thing that the teams will take a
Easy.
little bit more time on at this point in the game, of course, is the speed of the ice.
Right. Yeah.
Lot of room.
So we know the speed does tend to slow down
Lot of
here at the
room.
Brampton Club as we get into the later ends, and so they might be just giving that some consideration, which side to play and what speed you need to be in the top of the rings like that.
Freeze tap. Intern.
Now just peel all day.
75. No, heavy. Whoa.
Ryan's going to try to tap this redstone back a little bit, I think.
Yes! Whoa, where? Yep,
He's
whoa.
definitely got tap weight. I don't
Just bump
think his
it,
line
back
is
tee, just
as
back tee.
good as it would like it, but he moves the redstone back, sits shot stone.
Sorry. Too strong.
It's pretty good.
Getting a wall at least.
I think you should ignore
Yeah.
the shot stone, though, and just peel the guard right now.
Peel
I was
first,
just going to
we'll
ask you
go
that, Jason. Just peel the guard.
Yeah, because that shot stone isn't in the 4 foot.
Right.
Get it.
So the most dangerous rock is the guard.
Okay.
You could play it even a little bit on the aggressive side and try to maybe run it into the yellow
Yeah.
stone in the house. I don't think she's going to get that, but she'll peel the guard. Yeah, just didn't curl enough.
Try.
Yeah, she was
we just
definitely
looked at
trying that.
Yeah,
But great shot, just the same.
yeah, that's just really heads up in terms of how you call,
Yeah.
what sort of ice you take and how you
Right.
call the line, right? And
Yes.
if you got a little bit lucky, you would have gotten everything
Yeah.
moving, and it really would have made the end a lot easier for you.
Okay.
But still a good situation now for
Okay.
Hopsin and Tippett.
Yeah, and they're just, I think they're just
And
gonna
over
straight
on
peel.
sheet 2,
So I
we also
think
have another
center line
final.
guard.
It is Kid and
if they
Kid
hit the one in
running
the house,
Fairful
then
and
we just
Gephardt
draw
out of
around our
stones.
guard.
And over on sheet 5, red, stones. That's April and Bennett
I never really thought that.
Yes.
taking 2 in the last end to win by 1 over Zuliani and Greenman. Had to make a draw to the button
Screaming?
with their last
Oh,
stone.
okay, okay, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
Really exciting game. And this
Yeah.
game also coming down to the wire, a 1-point game.
Yeah.
Red, that's Hopsin and the Tippett leading by 1 over Thorne and Hahn.
Yeah.
Hopsin and Tippett with last stone here.
Peel. Peel.
think you'll see Ryan put up another guard.
Oh, there. Room. Not in. Running heavy.
This is not light.
Where?
Yeah, Ryan is
Whoa.
wanting it to stop.
Where?
Yeah, it's going to
Whoa.
be in the rings. This could actually
Set up a double.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely will set up some sort of a double.
I think just getting rid of that particular
Wow.
rock is most
Yeah,
important.
It's
Yeah,
a little-
definitely.
it's a
If you're
little
going to play the
thin.
double, make sure you get rid of the one that's on the touching the center line.
Yeah.
Well, pretty, like, okay.
Because a double might
I didn't.
jam. I don't know.
Just shows how heavy.
If you make the double, you
Depends
double
on the
jam,
angle
but
you
have
hit it
to
at, Mary.
Yeah.
There's
top one
certainly a
kinda thin.
chance it could jam, but I think if you make the
like,
double
if you make the double, you're not going to
the
jam.
most natural way,
Because you're hitting it pretty
you know, a third of the rock,
yeah.
I think it probably goes through those two red ones. I wouldn't be too concerned about jamming,
No,
quite honestly.
no. Even if it jams, it's probably not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we
Yeah,
can
this is the one that's like straight for a while. Ooh, yeah, hair more.
A little bit tight on this one. I think she's just going to get the single here.
Yeah, me too. I might be thinking about just trying to nose hit now. Keep it right in front. Just never got to the broom.
No.
And yeah, that's for intern side. And
There
I
was
think
no broom, Jason.
there was no broom.
That's why. Now at least you have an excuse.
Yeah, Mary, good observation. And we have a timeout called because this team has a coach. So their coach will get an opportunity to come out and have a 1-minute conference call with the team.
Okay, we'll have a listen in.
We're just trying to get one. Yeah.
The double will set us up in different spots.
If we're here, and then they roll and we make the double, then they're drawing against full 8, right? If I make.
Where's the rock?
Like a guard. I don't really want to guard their rock. Yeah, and we want to force them to draw as well. It's mine last year. Good shot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't hate splitting the house. Yeah, sitting two. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because even if they hit and roll under them, if you wrap back button, they're both, as long as they're not fully lined up. It's a double. True. Yeah, I like this.
I think you got to err on this side though.
Oh yeah, the over curl's not great. We need to be second shot for sure. There, more, there. Okay,
Like worst case,
true. Okay, mid 4 I think is good, eh?
So electing to play the draw to the wing.
Yeah, I think just staying open and trying to sit first and second shot here in a spot where maybe there isn't a double on the Yellowstones, if possible. I think their concern is if they try to play the hit on the red one, they might be grouping them for a double.
Right.
And so they want to at least avoid that situation right now because there's still another rock to come. So they want to be at least having one Yellowstone in the rings, maybe make the other team play against 2
Yeah.
on their final stone. So 2 rocks left for each team. Ryan Hahn, this is his last rock.
Really curling. Whoa, where? Tick. Do we need a
Trying to
tick?
draw to the side of the 4 or the side of the 8. Trying to sit
Fully.
first and second shot here.
Hard, Jess. Full 8 foot.
Line looks nice. He's got to stop around the tee
Okay.
line.
It does set up a double.
Yeah, maybe went a little bit too deep.
Yeah. Either needed to take it a little bit deeper, Jason,
Like a half rock does it.
just to avoid that double that's about to come up here.
Yeah, not an easy double.
No.
I like just playing, just get shot here, make them, they got to play on it, and then.
And 1 and 2.
Okay, just
If she rolls to stagger.
focus here is make contact, come into the center a bit.
I think Erica's gotten her interns a little bit started a couple times in this game, or maybe just not quite getting it out to the broom. This
Lot of
time
weight.
she definitely extended to the broom, I think. She's quite
is gonna
positive on
curl.
her release.
Yeah. Even a hit and roll here is not terrible.
Quite close, I think. She's gonna get the roll.
the roll.
Sit right on the corner would be perfect.
Yeah.
Really good shot.
Very nice shot.
Or this.
Yeah, so that definitely takes away the possibility of a steal of 2.
Right.
If you like the corner
So
freeze, it's fine.
now
It's
Hahn
a
and Thorne,
tougher
they've got to
shot,
figure
and
out
then
where
he
they
can
want to
come at
put
it
this
way,
rock
right, and just blast it.
to try to steal 1.
Are we trying to sit 2, or are we just trying to sit 1? Because we could also go here.
Can go to the back 4.
Like, I
Or the back
think
button
if we're
behind
drawing,
that
we're drawing to here, and
Top
if we're
8
hitting,
rock
we're
that is
hitting
now
this.
acting as a guard. They were talking about corner freezing
Slow this.
What do you think?
to the red
you
rock
and
on
I.
the side of the 4-foot, just biting
I
the
think
left side of the
doing
4-foot.
this will leave a finesse shot or a run back, but yeah. Yeah, I think there's
Great
good,
shot.
eh? Okay.
I think
Okay.
really those are the only 2 options.
I do. Yeah. I kind of like coming around the one on the top
Mid
Yeah, me
12?
too, Mary.
8 because you know, then it's going to have to make the other team make a decision. Depending on where it ends up, they could play a run back on it and miss it, you know, or they'll have to outdraw it if it's behind the tee line. And again, 8th end of the game, it's not that easy to draw. So
Yeah, I agree with
You
you.
like this? Okay, let's go then. Back 4.
and we definitely know she could get this with the intern here draw. She could definitely get this to curl behind that red rock.
Yeah, you can probably be fully buried in the back 4 on this intern side.
She looks like she's playing the outturn side.
Yeah, so she's picked the outturn side, which we think is not quite as curly, but we have seen some good curl on both sides.
We have,
We just
yeah.
think the intern is a little bit curlier.
Get out there. Weight's close. Little heavy. Weight's close. No, weight's. No.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah,
rock's a little bit juicy, and
Okay, guys. Good game.
Good game.
guys.
So I don't know actually if she was playing the draw or the little
tap and
tap
roll.
and roll or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She definitely kicked out of the hack pretty hard, but they don't get the shot stone here, and it is a final score.
Like I got a 77.
Hopsin and Tippett take this
Whoa, we were going
B
like
side
80, 85,
quarterfinal, and they're
so
going to be moving on to the B side semifinal. This drops the Hahn and Thorne team down to the C side. Well, Mary, you know, I think the difference in this game were the first couple of rocks in each end. I just think the Hopsin and Tippett team got their rocks in a better position to start.
Yeah, and that's usually what it'll take to take the lead and keep it here. They kind of control the game the whole time. So, but a great game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting across most of our sheets. Well, that does bring us to the end of our morning coverage of
Oh, yeah.
Draw 5 of the 2019 Ontario Mixed Doubles Curling Championships. We will be back
I know, I
at
didn't know,
noon
okay.
for the next draw. Those would be C-side games, so those are actually elimination games for those teams. 4 matches, 4 teams will continue on their journey. 4 teams will be going home at 12 p.m. or after that match. So on behalf of Mary Chilvers and the entire TSL crew, thanks so much for joining us. See you again at 12 p.m. Eastern Time.